All right.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not in
Caboose.
use anymore. They're able to cut back on the use of cabooses. Anyway, this is really a modern one, even though it was built in the 1970s. It was one of the last built. So it was built for the Missouri Pacific Railroad in 1972 is when it was certified. And it served for about 12 years. And then the Missouri Pacific was bought out by the Union Pacific about middle of the 1980s. In any case, so what happened is they didn't need them as much anymore. When they were originally done, the train crews would live on them for a while. When this one was in service, it was more like a floating office for the conductor, and he had a couple of crewmen that would watch down the train. And one of the reasons they could eliminate them is the railroads got fairly sophisticated. They would have infrared sensors alongside the tracks, and that way they could check to see if the bearings on the wheels were getting too hot.
Oh.
So they could stop that because they had a lot of issues with that in
Yeah.
the early days. Likewise, the crew guys were looking to see if things were falling off the train. So they put photo arrays every mile or 10 miles or so.
Okay.
So that as the train would go by, then they could check to see if things were falling off of it.
Ah,
Oh, that's cool.
So I
So
wonder
that
why
was
they quit using them. I mean,
Well, that's
Right.
part of it. And then it's labor issues.
Yeah.
things got automated.
Because
more.
you had 3 people here, and 2 of them could be redundant if you didn't need the caboose. So,
Yeah. Gotcha.
so that took a good while probably to negotiate. Nowadays, the caboose, unless there's another engine on the back pushing, has a device called a FRED, or a flashing rear end device. And it sits on the coupler of the last car, and the air hose is connected up. And then it monitors the air pressure. Because that way
Okay.
trains work is you have to have air pressure to keep the brakes from setting. If you lose air pressure, that's what'll lock up the brakes. So that was one of the things that the gentleman did when they were in the car.